That's the Tru Inferno. Back with another Black Ops 2 commentary video. Now this is a very funny gameplay, but we're not here to talk about the gameplay. So I'm gonna let y'all watch the gameplay and check out some of the funny things that happen and how awesome I am at Black Ops 2 despite taking some time off from playing this game. So now we're gonna get back to the topic. Now last week I got into the topic of a whole nother level of arrogance, if you can call it that, or basically, you know, certain people, namely some of you, members of the YouTube citizens, basically being assholes. So yeah, so there we go. So now, as I said last week, I'm going to carry the topic over towards sports and entertainment. And what I mean by entertainment, I mean, you know, like TV shows, movies, actors, and actresses. So let me recap of what I talked about last week. So last week there was two main issues that I want to bring up to you, the YouTube citizens, that some of you, not all of you, that some of you are guilty of doing. And that's the first one is try to act like you know it all, despite the fact you have little to no experience in a topic, but yet you still try to debate that topic against somebody who has experience and live that topic, you know, whatever it is. But yet your never say I'm wrong attitude still keep you going to argue with somebody who basically live this topic, and that topic could be movies, music, sports, entertainment, politics, religion, and education, whatever. So that's one of the main issues. Now the second issue, which is the big one that's carried over to today's topic, is, and this is where the whole arrogance or being an asshole comes to play, and that's people who try to dictate what the world likes, what the world dislikes, what the world should care about, what the world should not care about. And that was also discussed in the last video. Now, the one thing I failed to discuss in the last video that I'm going to do a brief second is, in this video is, you know, my type of arrogance. So, as some of you should know, you know, I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or anything like that. But I'm going to admit that, yes, I am an arrogant guy. Now, let's get something straight here. Yes, I'm arrogant, but my arrogance is different from the arrogance I was discussing in last week's video. So, in other words, my arrogance does not, I try to find a word here. My arrogance basically doesn't affect everybody. My arrogance only affects me. So, for example, all my nicknames, you know, all my nicknames that you hear me say, you know, like AKA That's the Tru Inferno, AKA Gene Rider II, the new J Gas Beats, the new Stephen A. Smith, which was given to me by somebody else, and James Bond III. So outside of the new Stephen A. Smith, all the other nicknames I came up with. And of course there are some others that I came up with. Go back to my Radio Rare 02 channel for that one. But notice how all those nicknames that I gave myself doesn't necessarily involve anybody else. So, in other words, my arrogance doesn't come at the expense of others. That's the phrase I was looking for. So I don't walk around and say, I'm the best of the world because I do this, this, this. I'm better than you because this, this, this. I say that I like this. That means the rest of the world like this. No, it's not like that. Now, the only time you may hear me say something like that is if I'm joking. Normally I follow that up with a laugh and leave it alone. You never hear me in a serious tone just say, hey, I'm better than the rest of the world. All serious like, or whatever I like the world like in a serious tone. No, it's not like that. Now, for some of you who have watched my Radio Rare 02 channel, you may bring up me referring to myself as this generation's only polymath, where I don't look at that as a shot against the world. I just look at it as two things. One, no one else in the world claims to be a polymath. Not that I noticed anyway or seen. And two, me referring to myself as the generation only polymath is not a diss towards everybody. It's not, because obviously everybody's good at something or whatever it is. But in my case, I look at it as I'm good at a lot of things, and I believe that I'm good at more things than other people. I have yet to see people who can do the things that I can do, or the number of things I can do, and that's the truth. I'm not exaggerating. That's the, you know, the truth. If some of y'all can disagree, you know, let me know, and I have no problem correcting myself. And the other thing is, Not a lot of people, and this is what I believe to be really true. Not a lot of people are into the stuff that I am into, which was somewhat covered in that Two Universes video. So with that out the way, let me get to today's topic, today's actual topic, and that's sports against, entertainment. And again, that's movies, TV show actors, and actresses. Now, as I mentioned last week, everybody know I'm a big sports fan. So when my sports team are doing, poorly, or they fail, or they lose a very important game, I would go ballistic. I would freak out. And yet, some cats would sit there and ask me, why do you care? And yet, I could turn around and ask them, because they would go off about the new Duck Dynasty episode or whatever, and I would look at them and say, why do you care so much? And that's why I look at them and call them, or in some cases call you, some of you guys, hypocrites. Now, the argument here is, in my opinion, I think this is more of a fact, but sports is actually better than entertainment, and here's why. Because, for one, and the question of why you care so much, I can answer that in the form of why people could care about sports, whereas there's not exactly a good logical answer for why people should care about entertainment. So in sports, because it's more like the audience, or those who are in attendance, or those watching, feel slightly more involved. So for example, obviously just about everybody been to a college, whether it's a well-known college or a college that nobody never heard of before, and everybody have a sports team. Well, every sports team, they play in some type of tournament, some way, shape, or form. And imagine if your college won while you were attending. Yeah, you'll feel really proud about that. Like, hey, my college won this championship. And no, I wasn't on the team, but I attended this college, so I feel like I was a part of it. So that's the thing about sports. It's like you're a part of something. So whether you go to that college, whether you stay in that same city, whether you was born in that same state, whatever it is, if your team wins something, it feels like you win something. Because one, you might have been there and you was rooting for that team, and it makes you feel it's all about the moment. It's all about the moment, and it feels like you're a part of that moment. That moment will never ever go away. It will always be there, and the moment could be big depending on how well you was involved. Like, you could have been shown on TV, or you might have been interacting with the players or whatever. All of that is possible in sports. Whereas with entertainment, you don't get that thrill. You don't get that satisfaction of being involved. All you do is just sit there and watch, and that's it. So when somebody asks you why you care about Duck Dynasty, or why you care about The Walking Dead so much, I mean, you can't really answer. Like, you can say it's a good show, but that's not a good answer. I can count that and say, because this is a good game, it's a good sport. But again, that's not a good answer. And the only logical answer in the form of entertainment is because that actress is hot. That's the only one. Like, outside from that, there's not a good logical answer to why cats should care about a certain TV show, a certain actor, a certain actress. Because not like you're going to see these cats in person. You may get lucky out the blue. It's like with sports, because you're there live and actually seeing them perform night in and night out, depending on what the sport is, you have a greater chance of interacting with these cats, of meeting these cats, of getting an autograph, getting your pictures taken, something. But when it comes to these actors and actresses, you're not seeing them performing live. You're seeing them on the TV screen. You're seeing them at the movie theater. They're not there live, so that chance of you interacting with them gone straight down the toilet, or just about gone straight down the toilet. And another reason why sports is better than entertainment is because of the following. I don't care what show is coming on, what show you were hoping for, whether it was a new episode or reruns. If there's a sporting event coming on TV, guess what? Your favorite program will be canceled for that day or that time frame for that sport. And I don't care what the sport is. It could be something big as the Super Bowl, or something small as the Little Caesars Pasta Dera Bowl, whatever, some crappy bowl nobody cares about. Whatever it is, don't matter. If it's a sport, it's gonna take precedent over your favorite show. Like, for example, that stupid Fox cartoon block where they showed The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, the Cleveland Brown Show, whatever they show nowadays. Guess what? All of that was taken off the air this past Sunday. Why? For the NFL playoffs. And if that game was to go to overtime and you were hoping to see that next Bob Burgers episode that normally follow the NFL playoffs, if that game was to overtime, guess what? You ain't watching Bob's Burgers. You watching overtime. And another reason, this is my final reason why sports is better than entertainment, is because if you look at entertainment nowadays, like movies, TV shows, some of those shows and movies are based off of sports. Like the Jackie Robinson movie. That's one example. And then another example is this show called The Game. Now, some of you may not have heard about it. I heard about it because, you know, cats. Actually, I got family who will watch it. But basically, it's a sitcom they show on the CW network. Basically, it's about, you guessed it, football players and their relationships with their wives mostly. But it's still tailored around football players. So, there you go. So, it's like, in the entertainment aspect, they get in their stories, their drama, and their whatever from sports. And another thing is, sports is not scripted. It's not scripted. You can't tell what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. You can't predict what's going to happen, but you never really know. But when it comes to a movie or TV show, all it takes is one person to see it already and say, hey, this going to happen, and it happens. You sports, you don't get that. You can predict what may happen. You may try and guess what may happen, but you never really know until it happens. So yeah, that's my argument for why sports better than entertainment. And as you can see, we won the game. I dominated. I only died 6 times. This is the new Jay Gatsby. Peace out, y'all.
Yeah, the biggest bull charging out of the pen, artists repent. God body, the deity is harbored within. Caution, brother, I'm your sharpest of kin. Carving your skin, ignite you to ashes, be gone with the wind, arms to the brim. With an aim at the goal, walking with venom, snakes in my soul, shaking their soul. Rougher than being shackled and chained to a stone. Stay in your zone, titanium lays in my bones. Revered from adolescence to days that are grown. Raising the bar like getting my son his liquor license. Freaking mean, get freaking seed. I don't care who spits the nicest. Flick a knife for hits precise, the tip will split and rip your iris down the sinus. Block your mind and say I won't, I'm down to try it. Behold, beloved, you minuscule, my flow's deluxe. Leaving rappers unemployed from giving work. Loaded luck, ain't it ironic?